What's up, everybody? I'm Kyler.
I'm Brogan.
And this is Geek This Week, where we talk about all the cool geek stuff that's gone on over the last 7 days.
That is true. And this week, we've got a lot of really cool stuff to talk about. This week in technology, a fitness tracking app has accidentally leaked some confidential information regarding the locations of U.S. military bases. The app, called Strava, tracks the workout routines of its users via GPS, so it can share them publicly and show the most popular running spots in the city. Unfortunately, it was discovered that the app showed not only the location of U.S. military bases throughout the world, but busy travel routes within them as well, which comes as a cause for concern for some military officials as a potential breach of security. But one thing's for sure, someone is going to get an earful for this one.
A new report by the Princeton Web Transparency and Accountability Project shows that approximately 76% of websites have Google trackers, and about 24% of websites have Facebook trackers. These numbers are astonishing, and they mean that almost nothing you do online is actually private. So you're probably being tracked on almost everything you do online. For more information on how this affects what you do and see online, make sure to check out the CNBC article linked below.
Speaking of Facebook, for somewhat unknown reasons, Facebook has actually banned all advertisements of any cryptocurrency, causing them to nosedive in price. Bitcoin has been the most affected, dropping below 8,000 on Friday. This is the lowest Bitcoin has been since the end of November of last year, which is less than half what it was a month ago. But if you're a risk taker, now is a fantastic time to buy.
While we're on the topic of cryptos, YouTube has been caught playing ads that secretly use the viewers' computers to mine a cryptocurrency known as Monero. The ads were created using CoinHive, which runs a JavaScript code that mines the currency, causing the user's processor to work harder and consume more energy. Google reports that they caught and stopped the ads within the first 2 hours, but it still affected many users in Japan, Spain, Italy, and France. There's no telling if, when, or where this will happen again, but as web-based mining software continues to come to market, we'll probably see this happen a lot more often.
A few months back, Elon Musk started selling hats under what he called the Boring Company. Musk teased at the time that if they were able to sell 50,000 of these boring hats, he would sell Flamethrowers as well, which was a reference to the Star Wars parody Spaceballs. What at first was thought as a joke suddenly turned out to be real when Elon Musk released a URL that led to a password-protected page. When the password was cracked, it led to a pre-order page for a flamethrower for only $500. Musk says he is capping sales at 20,000 units, which are unfortunately already sold out, so if you want your flamethrower, you'll have to mod your own. However, it's exciting news enough that you can actually buy these flamethrowers. I'll be honest, I thought it was a joke at first.
Yeah,
but turns out not, so...
Surprisingly, Elon Musk's flamethrower also brings us to This Week in Gaming. Gearbox Software founder and CEO Randy Pitchford replied with a tease to a highly anticipated game. The tweet reads, "Elon, I'm going to add this to our next Borderlands game. Super serious." This means a new Borderlands game is probably already in the works and ready to be announced soon enough. In a press release, Take-Two Interactive, who owns the Borderlands franchise, mentioned a highly anticipated new title from one of 2K's biggest franchises is likely to come out by the end of 2019's fiscal year. This statement, plus Pitchford's tweet, seems to hint that a new Borderlands game is ready to be announced soon. It also means that we may see flamethrowers coming out in the next game.
In that same press release, actually, Take-Two announced yet another unfortunate delay for their highly anticipated game Red Dead Redemption 2. It was initially set to release fall of 2017, but was then delayed until spring of 2018, but on Thursday they announced that the game will actually be released on October 26th of this year, much later than expected. While it is a bit frustrating, we're still excited for the game, and I'm sure Rockstar is going to pull off a great game.
Epic Games has announced they will be shutting down their free-to-play MOBA, Paragon. In their official announcement, they say, "We didn't execute well enough to deliver on the promise of Paragon. We have failed you, despite the team's incredibly hard work, and we're sorry." They also mentioned that they don't have enough players to keep the game running. While we're sad to see such an amazing developer fail their fans, they did say they will be refunding any money that players spent on their game. Don't worry, Epic, we still love you.
Rumor has it that Microsoft is actually trying to acquire one of a few different developers. These developers include Valve, the developer of Steam, and some games like Half-Life and Portal, EA, which if you don't know by now, you're probably living under a rock, or even the recently made popular PUBG Corp for their game PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. By purchasing any one of these companies, Xbox might gain a leg up on their competition. Whether or not they actually follow through on some of these purchases has yet to be seen.
Speaking of EA, they have finally announced that they'll be bringing microtransactions back to Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Hooray.
No one could have seen that coming.
I know I never saw that one coming.
That's right, EA told the Wall Street Journal that they will reinstate monetization in their terribly received game after it failed to achieve its sales goals. The game received major backlash from tens of thousands of gamers before its release due to their focus on loot boxes and microtransactions for a $60 game. Rogan actually wrote an interesting article about Star Wars Battlefront 2 a while ago when it released. We'll leave that and a link in the description below.
Moving on from gaming, this week in the world of movies, there is a lot of speculation going around that sometime in the near future, we're expected to see a trailer for Disney's May release of Solo, a Star Wars story, which is interesting that we haven't seen one up to this point. However, Screen Rant released an article stating that they expect the trailer to air sometime Monday morning during Good Morning America on ABC, while a lot of other people seem to think that we may get to see a surprise appearance during the Super Bowl sometime today. Either way, it's very likely that we'll see the trailer released sometime in the next couple days, so check back with us next week when we have more information.
This week in pop culture, Stan Lee, arguably one of the greatest comic book creators of all time, was rushed to the hospital. TMZ reports he struggled to breathe and had an irregular heartbeat, but a spokesperson for Stan said that he is doing well and feeling good. Stan Lee is 95 years old and has missed 2 comic conventions in the last year due to health concerns, even though the public is still unaware of what conditions he's facing.
But I had a day of relaxing in the hospital. It was fine and made me feel good. Now I'm home and looking for new trouble to get into.
Well, that about wraps it up for this week. Like I said, we had a lot of really cool stuff. We actually also have a lot of bonus content this week that we're going to have on our website. Make sure to give us a like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.